What the heck is going on, everyone? What has gotten into Phil Easy? Has he gone mad again? I have. I'm talking about myself in the third person. But I've also cut off a lot of tomatoes here, guys. Look at all of this tomato that I've cut off today. I had to regain control of my tomatoes. I'm going to take you through how to do that, how to prune in a number of different ways, number of techniques. I'll have even a really good tip right at the end here. It's going to help you maximize your tomato production. Thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and smash the thumbs up. Let's get going. So I'm going to start with the bottom of the plant. We're going to work our way up. So I'm looking for anything that's basically touching the ground I don't want to be growing anymore. That can encourage disease, pest. Oh, I see a big sucker that snuck in here. I'm going to take that out as well. And a lot of these leaves, they're important early in the development of the plant when it's still small. But once it reaches this size, they're not adding a ton to the growth. So for me, I will remove all of the growth up to about a foot on the plant. It'll encourage more airflow, maybe even a foot and a half. Encourages the airflow, and as we move into the cooler season here, there we go. That gives you a really sort of obvious idea of some aggressive pruning on the bottom of the tomato plant. I'm going to take this one out. There we go. And we're going to go through and do that with all of them. This will get that airflow going. I've not cut any of the leaves that are above the tomatoes though. I've made sure to leave it that way. No pun intended. So that way the leaves below or at the tomato level are still doing the photosynthesis and adding to the tomatoes that are growing. But anything below, especially if it's starting to dry up or decay or do any of that sort of stuff, get it out and just make sure your plant's big enough. You could start earlier in the season and you could maybe bring it up about this far when it's taller and then move your way up here. Because I've delayed, I'm just doing it all in one. So now we're going to work our way up the tomato plant. Let's see what's next. So now, as we move our way up the plant, I look at the next thing we have to deal with, which is going to be some suckers that I let get out of control. You can see this one shooting out right from there. Whole bunch of growth there. That's about a foot long. It's out. This might be small enough to pinch off. Yep. So that one, even though it's as long as it is, it's out. And I trace my way up the plant and I'm looking in all the spaces between here to see if we've got any. There's just a little one, but it's worth taking out. Go all the way up. There's some growth in there that I'm going to take out. And then even at the top here, look at this one. We've got another one shooting out. So it looks like there's two. So if you ever encounter this near your top of your plant, you've got two of them. Look for the one that's closer to the leaf coming out on the side. That's usually the one you want to take off, unless it makes more sense with the direction of growth to end up taking off the other one. But I'm going to just break that one out of there. Okay. Here's the next pruning tip I have for you guys. Sometimes you may come across where your tomatoes are growing, but at the end of your tomato, you get a whole new shoot coming out and growing. Guess what? That comes off too. But the other little tip I'd give you here is when I'm looking at this situation, that little tomato might get big enough in the end, but look at that tomato. And there's a whole bunch more further up. So in my mind, the move to make is to cut above that tomato there. Boom. And I'm also going to clear this out a little bit. And you can see now what I've left. There's a pruning tip number 3, I believe. Here's yet another thing to watch for and another part of the tomato plant that you're going to want to prune if it gets to the point I let mine get to. At the base, you got to look down there. Sometimes you can't see. There's new shoots that can start shooting out. New suckers. Take them out. Take them all out. Here's yet another example of a decision on pruning the tomato. I've let this sucker go way too long. It's got flowers on it. It's continuing. It looks really healthy. So does this one too. Could I have more tomatoes if I let them both go? Maybe. Am I gonna try that? No way. I'm gonna cut this sucker off and let the main one go and focus all that energy into all this stuff happening. So there you go, everyone. Things are looking a lot cleaner. We've got a lot more airflow and space. You can see below these. You can see the tomatoes starting to show up a little bit easier. So that's some pruning techniques and how to aggressively go after your tomato plants if they've gotten a little out of control like I let mine. Now you guys are probably still wondering, what's that tip that Phil was going to give at the end of this video about how to maximize those tomatoes? One more tip and trick. Well, this one has to do with the top of the plant. If you guys guessed it, we worked from bottom all the way to the top. And once your tomato plant gets to a certain height, I usually wait for it to be about 5-6 feet, and or you get to this time of year, we're early August now, I'm going to, believe it or not, cut off the top of this plant. Boom. Now what that's going to do is, by doing that, it's going to allow all the energy now to be focused on the rest of the bottom of the plant moving up, but not into the new green growth. This is going to force our tomatoes into a fruiting stage and force them to put all that energy into the tomatoes themselves instead of growing new growth. So that's the last tip. Once they're high enough, just lop them off at the top, and there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hopefully there was some good information in here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and smash that thumbs up. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Whoa. We just about had a tomato fall over there.